So there's an idea that I'm really excited about, an idea that I think is going to have significant implications for how we do organizational change. For a long time, economists and researchers have assumed that in order to get to a tipping point for change, you need to have over 50% of people supporting the change. So you need 51%, 52%, and beyond that to say that you got to the tipping point. Now, this is quite a sizable group of people to try and convince in order to say you've succeeded with changing an organization. Well, actually, what we're learning through new research by Damon Centola is that you don't need such a large number. If you get to 25% of people endorsing or supporting a change, you've actually gotten to the tipping point. Centola found that that's all you need, 25% of people to support your change initiative, and we can say you got to the tipping point. This is based on research from several times in history and several organizations that show that when a minority gets to 25%, they become large enough that they're difficult to ignore. So what that means when we think about the diffusion of change in our organizations is that you don't really need to have everyone join the movement early on. You can start with innovators and early adopters. And when you get to a big enough proportion of the early majority so that you're kind of over that 25%, you're at the tipping point. And that's really cool, right? That's a really interesting change that's actually happening within this kind of knowledge, because we know that we don't need a large majority. So at the beginning of the change movement, to just create momentum, we maybe need with like 5% of people to join us. And then later on, as we're kind of trying to drive that change, we only need to get to 20 to 30% of people joining us. And then we can say that we're at the tipping point. I think this is really significant. And I think this is something that gives us energy as we're working on our organizational change, to know that the target is actually closer than we thought for us to get to the tipping point for change.